Hello, I'm Jill Smith. Good evening. I hope you're sitting comfortably and you'd like to hear some stories from our children's writing group. We've written Fantastical Tales that was released in 2006. We've written Mystery, Mayhem and Magic that was released in 2009. And our very latest creation is Backyard Beasts and Curious Capers, and that was released last year, 2024. Now, this book, this lovely illustrations in this book are done by Jennifer Cicluna, and our authors and everything about us is at the back of the book. She's done some very clever work. She's actually put in a, that you can do, that's about our other books, of course. But I'll read a story. It might be best just if I read a quick story. And this one is mine, called The Crystal Ball Witch Hunt, where I introduce Florice the Witch. And Florice the Witch is on the cover. There she is. And with her Pooh Boom cat. In the enchanted forest, Florice was bored. She baked deviled carrots for the witch's ball fundraiser. She made sure her broom had stretched out its kink at the top of the tree beside her house. And now she was searching, yet again, for her crystal ball. "Come on in, Ash," Caleb beckoned his friend. "Follow Maggie, she's going to climb the knobby tree." Ash stumped his little bike in the front lawn and followed Caleb. Being older, within a few strides, he'd run past his smaller friend. It was a long yard with shrubs and few trees and an old chicken coop. "Hey, Ash," Maggie called from the end of the yard, "try to follow me. Smarty pants, you know I like to be called Ash." His dark skin blended with the shadows and Caleb bumped into him, I should say, tipping over. As his arms scrabbled to hold the taller boy, Caleb landed face down on the leaves. "Are you okay, Caleb?" Ash laughed as he helped his friend to his feet. "Maggie is already going up the tree." "I tripped over something hard." Caleb brushed some leaves away and plants from the searched on the ground. "Look, what's that?" "A ball," Caleb shrugged. "A crystal ball." Ash took from Caleb. "It's heavy." "Whoa!" Maggie screamed and plummeted to the ground. The boys ran to her. "What happened?" Caleb asked her sister as she scrambled to her feet. "Sorry about that, dear. I'm a little accident prone and my broom has a kink in it," a shaky voice called from above their heads. Leaves fluttered down on them as the owner of the voice dropped from the treetop. "Whoa, who? What are you?" Ash and Maggie said at the same time. "I'm Florice. I sometimes get my spells wrong," the wild-haired woman announced. She brushed leaves off her hat and put her broom against a tree. Then she squashed her hat back on her head. "I'm looking for my crystal ball." Ash and Caleb exchanged glances, then turned towards each other slightly, holding the ball between them so the others couldn't see it. Caleb nudged him. The ball was clouding over. "I wish I could fly," Caleb muttered as he rubbed the side of the ball. "I wish I could have a never-ending supply of sweets," Ash said, touching the side of the orb with its swirling cloud inside. Instantly, Caleb rose a little way off the ground, while Ash felt his backpack grow heavy. Florice narrowed her eyes. "Have you used my crystal ball?" "Maybe," said Caleb, as he rose higher. "You won't be able to come down if I don't help you," Florice warned, and she stepped towards the boys. "What?" "Cool," Ash smiled as he peeked inside his backpack. It was full of sweets. "Sometimes my spells go wrong," Florice grinned crookedly. "Do you want to keep going up?" Caleb was now a metre off the ground. He shook his head. Florice pointed her long, gnarled fingers towards Caleb. A light flashed from her fingertips, and the solid lad crashed to the ground with a thump. "And what did you wish for, boy?" Florice asked Ash. "Nothing," he said as he handed over the crystal ball. The swirling inside had slowed down, and he pulled the backpack onto his shoulders. Thank you, said Florisse. Then, what's that lovely smell? She sniffed. It's my mum's curry, said Ash. Our mum loves curry, but she always says it's not as good as my mum's, as his mum's, I should say. Caleb explained. I'd like to try some curry. Florisse rubbed the side of the orb. All four of them were suddenly in the house next door. Wow, Maggie looked around at the ornate pictures on the wall. Mum, can we have some curry? Hey Ash, my meal will be ready in 10 minutes. Introduce me to your friends. You know Maggie and Caleb. Mum, this is Florisse. She's visiting. Hello, Florisse. My curry is hot. Do you like spicy food? I don't know. Do you like flying children or boys who become bigger with every sweet they eat? Ash's face grew pale. No, Florisse, I wouldn't want a flying son or a very bloated boy. Hey, Ash, have you been up to something? Oh, Mum, I just wished for a bag of lollies. You got them. Florisse grinned at him with a crooked smile. Each one will make you blow up bigger and bigger. Ash quickly handed over the backpack. Mum will be looking for us, Maggie tugged Caleb's sleeve. Tell her about Florisse so she doesn't get upset. I'll go and get her. Caleb nodded and ran to the door. Florisse watched as Ash's mother stirred the curry. Maggie helped Ash set the table. It smells yummy. Maggie sighed. Yes, it does, Ash agreed. Caleb returned with their mother. I love curry. Caleb's mother smiled at the stylish woman rotating the wooden spoon in the curry. She stared at Florisse as she pulled out a chair. Sit down, everyone. I'll serve up. I wish I'd worn something better than this, Maggie's mother murmured. In a flash, the stout woman was dressed in a slimming suit, jacket and slacks. Wow, Maggie blinked. My magic sometimes surprises even me, Florisse shrugged. My crystal ball must be on automatic. Soon there was nothing but silence as they ate. Excuse me. That was delicious, Caleb said, slurping up the last of his meal. It was, Florisse agreed. She stood up and lifted out her crystal ball. Kids, I think we'd better go, said Caleb. Mum, B, can I have a takeaway for Len? He'll be home tomorrow and will be annoyed if he misses out. Of course. Ash, fit some containers. Florisse, would you like a takeaway too? B asked. Takeaway? Yes, please. The wild-haired woman nodded. Florisse accepted a plastic container filled with the delicious stew. I'll go now, she smiled, and she disappeared from the room. Once she was back home, Florisse held her crystal ball and rubbed it gently. I wish to have a continuous supply of curry. The plastic box became 2, then 3. She smiled as she stacked her cupboard. After her cupboard was full, Florisse picked up the crystal ball again. I have enough curry now. Stop. After another hour of the containers popping into her kitchen, Florisse came a little flustered. She rubbed the crystal ball again. Still, the containers arrived. She opened cupboard after cupboard and stacked until she was quite exhausted. I know my spells don't always work, but enough! The crystal ball clouded over. A smile appeared inside. Say please. Florisse rolled her eyes. Please? The crystal ball smiled back. It let out a huge burp. Florisse grinned, then laughed. The crystal ball burped again and rolled away. Oh no, don't you roll away again. I don't want to hunt for you again. The crystal ball rolled faster out the door. Florisse screamed for her broom. It ignored her, and she was too tired to follow. She slumped in her chair beside her wooden table, covered in plastic containers of curry. I spend too much time hunting my runaway crystal ball, she grumbled. The broom nodded in agreement. As she looked up at her leaking roof, she felt a cool breeze through the broken window. She had an idea. Florisse grinned. She picked up a small cauldron she'd taken out of the cupboard and filled it with curry. She snapped her fingers, and a small pile of wood and kindling she'd put outside her cottage. She put the cauldron on the flame above a fire and then used a piece of charcoal to write the sign on the tack it to her door. Floresa's Curry Shop. Soon the smell of piping hot curry filled the forest. She then sent an email message to all her friends. Before long, witches, warlocks, goblins and little people of all varieties arrived to get a free sample of the delicious curry. Soon the containers were flying out the door, with some buyers saying they'd be back for more. A couple of satisfied buyers showed their gratitude by mending Floresa's roof and repairing her window. Finally, Floresa's cupboard was empty once more. "We can always go back to Maggie, Caleb and Ash for more curry," said the broom. She said to Broom. The broom nodded as it swept up the leaves around the cauldron. Near the ashes lay the runaway crystal ball. "There you are," Florece grinned her crooked grin. "Thank you, Broom." And that was that story. And as you can tell, there is the witch falling out of the tree, and the crystal ball at the end. That's the crystal ball. We have a good fun time doing our stories, and I hope you enjoy them too. You can go to our Wix site, and our Wix site is the10penners.wixsite.com/the10penners, and you can look up all our information about us and about our lovely stories. So please look out for that. I'll try and do a few more in the next few nights and see if they're any good. I'm hoping to learn to do podcasting, so I'm using this as a starting off. Okay, so happy reading and enjoy yourselves. Bye.